to each other and kind of, get some questions out there that everyone's been asking me about. Because I've been trying to help people, throughout the COVID-19 and throughout this whole process and
Of
things like
course.
that. Okay. So you should be able to see me
Yeah.
on the small box, my flying all over the place. But I want to start off with you just introducing yourself to everyone, just telling them like what's your name, what do you do, and basically where do you reside, what location you're in.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Justin Hayward. I'm artist Little Eric, Little E. I reside out in Huntington Beach, California. Um, Basically, I've been in this entertainment business since I was about 15, 16 years old. I'm originally from Indiana, and I
Right.
started down in the entertainment business down in Dallas, Texas, and came out to California. I've been out in California since 2010, so been out here for quite a while. And I just did a song with Snoop, and pretty much, yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for introducing, yourself and what you do. And I kind of want to ask you a couple questions because I know that, we've been talking and I've been trying to communicate with you on everything with COVID-19.
Hmm.
And I know that you went through a drastic and hard time. I want to know, like, how did that affect you in your normal day-to-day life? And I just want to introduce that you were an actual victim of COVID-19. And I just want you to explain to people, how do you believe that you contracted the virus?
Well, see, I'm an Uber driver, and yes, I did have the virus. I contacted the virus about 6 weeks ago. I'm guessing it was from one of my passengers that was up in my car, and it all started kind of like that. Um,
Right.
I had this doctor that was in my car, and he was kind of explaining that things was kind of things were going to happen here, and so shortly after that, next thing I knew is I was sick, and I came down with a sore throat and a cough, and then it recited into like a fever, and it went into the whole thing. I mean,
Wow.
out. I mean, I had the shakes, the shivers, everything.
Oh, wow. Wow. So this happened like right after you came in contact with one of your passengers that you were giving a lift to, because
Absolutely.
obviously you did say you're an Uber driver. So one of your passengers you were giving a lift to, the whole duration of this ride that you guys had, he was talking about COVID-19, the coronavirus, the whole time, as if he just kind of knew something was going to
Yeah.
happen or something was
Oh
in
yeah.
place,
And this
right?
was like 72 hours, or 72 to 48 hours before. I mean, before the national news hit. I mean, it was
Right.
before all the coverage, and the next thing I knew is I was sick and I was ill. Now we were supposed to take a flight out to Las Vegas. Me and my buddy Steve Hooks in there, and we ended up not going because obviously things was getting bad at that time, and I was sick.
Right.
Couldn't. He got sick from me, and
Oh, wow.
I'm still sick. And I just
Wow.
got my test. I just got my test, just because see they've not had test, you know,
Right, right. So at
and
the time that you first got the virus, there was no testing available, right?
well, I was told not to talk about things from a confidentiality person of mine that told me because of my career not to mention anything at because I had it right when the national news media was picking up on this. I mean, I could have been like one of the first people up in California to contact this.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, and so I was told not to say anything. I had went up on Facebook saying I'm sick and yada yada, and he said, "Take that off. You've got people watching you in this business. That right now you just dropped the song with Snoop. You don't need this out there right now." And so I stopped talking about it. I didn't want to talk about it, and
Right.
it was good at that time, but as the weeks have went on, yeah, I've been affected by it because from my personal daily activities, it's it's put a drainage on my money. I can't work. I have no money right now. I
Wow.
mean, I'm down to like $70 in my banking account, and
Oh,
payments are
that's
coming out.
terrible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow, wow. So the pandemic has basically drained all of your resources. And speaking about that, how are your creditors? How are they dealing with this? Would you call them and say, hey, you know what? I'm a COVID-19 victim and I'm not feeling well. I can't go out and work because what happens if you go out and work? You can infect other people. So how have your creditors been dealing with this situation with you having COVID-19, the coronavirus? Have they been lenient towards you with this? Have they been able to give you any extensions? Were they able to try to accommodate you on any type of adjustments to those bills that you have?
They have
Explain that to everyone in reference to what you've had to experience.
they have done nothing. Honestly, they've done
Nothing at
nothing
all.
and nothing at all. I've made phone calls. I've contacted my car leasing company
Right.
through the Uber leasing uh, Fair. It's called Fair, the Fair Corporation. I wrote them and called them, and basically they have done absolutely nothing. I mean, I've called them multiple times, and the guy
Wow.
saying that the company's not doing anything. And I
Right.
mean, and I even told the guy, I said, man, I said, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not fucking around here. I've got the
Right.
virus. I'm not one of these people that's, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need assistance right now. And I've never missed
Right.
a payment. I've never, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, yeah, these companies are basically robbing people right now.
Right. And I
Oh,
feel so bad when, when I've been speaking with you and you did mention that to me, that during this drastic time, you're sick. And I'm thinking to myself, someone's sick with the coronavirus. Do you really want them going out trying to work and worry about their bills at the time, that they're sick and they need to be, they need to be taken care of. They need to be at home. They need to be boosting their immune system up. And then going out into the world is pretty much saying, you're going to affect all of these people, trying to be able to take care of your bills. And then you have these creditors that don't even care, nothing about how you feel and what you're going through. They're just like, pay me my money. Like, I need my money. And that's so unfortunate for that. And, for these type of things
you
to
would
happen, I'm
think
going to
that
try my
during like a
very best to
disaster,
see what we can do to help, because I really don't like to hear this. And to me, they sound like corporate bullies, that they bully less fortunate people that are going through these things. And this is a really bad time. And it's so unfortunate that these companies will come after you and say and drain your bank account out, knowing that you're a victim and you've explained this to them and they don't have any remorse towards that. I mean,
oh,
that's just
absolutely.
crazy.
I agree with you. I agree, Tiff, and I think it's very. I think these corporations that are doing that, I mean, they're obviously stealing money. You know, I mean, robbing Peter to pay Paul, or whatever you want
Exactly.
to call it. I mean, they're acting like everything's normal. I mean, there should be like disaster relief, like right now, like going
Right.
on, and I don't feel like that's happening. I just don't.
Yeah. So you don't feel like there's enough resources out there to help actual victims. I think that if someone's suffering, is going through this, and they're sick and they're not able to go out into the world to actually, work and do things, because think about it, if you go out, you can infect other people. I think there should be definitely extra benefits for people like that, that are going through these hard and
Or
tragic times, that are actually infected and sick.
I agree
Have
with
you Yeah, I think that there's things in place that have been able to give some assistance and things, but I think if someone's an actual victim and they're having this hard time, then definitely I think there should be some extra funding available for those victims, because do we really want someone that's affected by this to really go in our community? We really want them at home to get well, to boost their immune system, to feel better, and to be
you.
negative
Get
of the
back to normal.
virus, because it's a concern for the community. If we're all staying at home to protect ourselves, then we're asking a actual victim to go out and work. I mean, that's
I
just,
agree with
to
you.
me, that's just way too much.
No, I
It just
100% agree with you.
it's of isolation, it really does. How long have you been affected by the virus? How long have you had it for?
I got it right when the national news media coverage hit. I'd say about 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I got the
Wait,
virus like right at the beginning. The main symptoms lasted
right,
a few weeks. The cough has lasted continuously for me, and like I said, yeah, my doctors are still checking up on me. I've got an actual call like with my doctor this week. I think
right.
it's Tuesday morning. So I mean, they're checking up on my symptoms, making sure because I had the chills come back, and the chills is a
Wow.
part of
Oh, so
I mean,
still, so these symptoms are actually resurfacing,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Oh
yes. I
wow,
mean,
wow. So you're
and the
still
cough.
not feeling so. And
Yeah.
then, is there anything like you going to the doctors and being sick and affected by the virus? Is there anything that they're particularly treating you with? Any type of treatment, any type of medication, prescriptions, of things, or even immune system boosters that can help you, with the suffering that you're going through?
They put me on like originally, like when I originally went in there before they even tested me, they had me on some cough syrup and to help out the cough, and it would to help me sleep and to get my mucus out. Right now I'm on Mucinex to kill the rest of the cough because since I've been on it so long, I they're not exactly sure if I'm still potent because but since the virus is resurfacing for me, they're watching the circumstances and seeing how it goes, watching it, maintaining it, of course. And I want them to do that, at this time.
Right, right. And I
Mm.
want to ask you another question. I know that you did mention earlier when we were talking about you affecting, your friend. Were you very contagious? Was there other people that that got sick being in contact with you? I just wanted to, because there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that's saying it's the 5G towers, it's this and that. Do you honestly feel like you being a real victim, because there's people talking that's not victims of this, and
Of
you
course.
being an actual real authentic victim? I see your paperwork, I see that you actually really did contract the virus. What do you have to say to those people that's saying that this is from 5G? Do you honestly think that there's any realness to that?
I mean, there's always conspiracy theorists out there, and conspiracy
Right,
theorists are always going to say anything. I personally, my personal beliefs is no. I believe that the virus is real, and I do
right,
believe that there is a COVID-19 virus going around. Like I said, I got my buddy super sick in there, and
right.
he
Wow,
and he had the same symptoms. I mean, he went through it all, the same shit. So
wow.
he went through
Did it
that.
restrict your breathing? Because I know a lot of people said that it restricts your breathing. You have problems with your oxygen. Did you have any of those respiratory problems?
I did, yes. It kind of clogs you up. So like I had like blood in my loop, my loop, my spit.
Right,
Like when I first got sick, I had a lot of spit, and like I'd keep spitting up, and it get caught like right there in
right,
your throat, and it went from red to green to yellow. I mean to clear, and then back, and then like there'd be like a little bit of blood. I mean for like a few weeks, I mean like it was there, and I would
oh
just keep spitting
wow,
constantly. And then I had, I had a fever and just chills, and I just felt like shit. I mean, like, my body was just very weak that first week was horrid. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I had dreams.
right.
It was just, it was bad. I mean, like those people, I saw those people laying up on the hospital beds. I mean, I guess I probably could have been one because I went through that stuff.
Wow. Now, prior to you contracting the virus, were you a healthy individual? Did you have like a pretty much healthy lifestyle that you lived?
Oh, of course, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I take care of myself, of course. Yeah, always, always eating healthy,
Nice.
exercising, making sure that
And
I
I'm
mean,
just gonna make sure that I'm plugged in properly because I felt like my plug went out. So give me 1 second.
yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Okay, I'm back and going. Just wanted to make sure that the plug was in properly because I saw the plug was out and I'm like, I don't want to lose you. And
Yeah, totally.
okay, great. So, and I wanted to ask you another question because I was just like, asking people that were interested and stuff like, what would you guys want to know from little Eric, and things like that. They wanted to know, like, is there any recommendations that you recommend people to do to keep themselves healthy from contracting it?
I would just say stay inside, keep the social distancing. I mean, I know for me, obviously, being an Uber driver and doing that, I mean, obviously close contact with people is part of our nature. So I think that that's how I
Right.
acted it. So yeah, just stay at home and just stay away from people. I mean, and just continuously, do what, CNN and all the news corporations are telling you to do, because I think that they're absolutely right in that. 100%.
Oh, okay, so basically, follow the directions that they're telling us, because that is actually real. That's real, and that will
Yeah,
definitely help
indeed.
us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
Now, I just want to ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll go into some other things next week. But I want to continuously, do this with you, because I know after we do this, people are going to have questions, and then we can answer those questions next week, and things like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, really, like, how bad has this really affected your personal life and things like that? Has this had a lot of restrictions? Are you going out now? Are you still, have to stay home, and things like that?
I have been staying home. I mean, like 98% of the time, unless I have to go out, to go get some food or
Right.
go get gas or
Right.
whatever. I mean, yeah, it's restricting me. I mean, I'm not working. I'm not doing really anything. I mean, we're in the house 98% of the time. I mean, I mean, life has changed. I mean, drastically has changed in the last, since this pandemic has started. And
Wow.
and that's, I mean, playing video games. I mean, that's that, getting on
Right.
Facebook, social media, staying away from friends. I mean, yeah, a lot
Right.
changed. I mean, no movies, no movies, no going out. I mean, it's just no beach, you know,
Right.
no doing anything.
Right.
It's just totally social isolation, and that's,
Exactly.
I'm used to that type of stuff myself, because I've always been a loner. But I mean, but not being able to do it, not being able to go out into the public eye.
For someone to tell you can't go out, it's a different kind of thing. Because at first it's kind of like we could choose, like, if we want to go out. I wasn't like a big go out person all the time, but I do like to have the time where I can go to the movies, go out and sit down at the restaurants, go to Starbucks and have a meeting. But I think that a lot of things have changed. Do you feel like this pandemic is going to change us even after we go back to normal? Do you think that is still going to be some changes there for us,
I
affecting on how we do things?
Absolutely, life is changing, daily. I mean, there's 400,000 people that have died from this virus. I mean, there's people dying.
Right.
There's been celebrities dying. I mean, and not only that. I mean, lots of just population. I mean, it's worldwide.
Absolutely.
This is a worldwide epidemic. So yeah, it's going to change. And I mean, it's just like when 9/11 happened. I mean, the world was never the same. And I do believe that it's not going to be the same when we get back to reality, when we get back to our normality lives. I think it is going to change. And I do believe that it's going to take longer than what they're saying. And especially out here in California, maybe some other states may open up, but I don't think it's safe right now, because I do believe that this is not over. I, I don't see
Right.
it over. I just don't see it, because this virus is a silent killer. It's killing people, and it's almost like the plague. I mean, it's basically like the New
Right.
Age plague. Yeah, it is. It is. It's moving, and it's.
So bad. I saw Fred, the godson, passed away. He's only 35 years old, and I met him in New York when I was there a few years ago. He was performing somewhere with a good friend that I used to work with their label, and so it was a real shocker to me. Like, dang, that's the same guy I met. He was very humble, very nice. I liked the way he treated people, and I just was like, that's rather unfortunate. He has kids, a wife, that he left behind. And yeah, this is real. When I start seeing people dropping like flies, I'm like, this is real. This is no joke.
Oh, it is.
And
Absolutely.
that's why
It
when I saw you affected by that, I immediately wanted to talk to you, because I felt like your story definitely deserves a great break in the world, and to see how we can help in any way possible, to get you some resources and some things going for you, because I think you deserve it. You've been suffering going through this, and have to be restricted on things and things like that. So I'm very grateful that we did get a chance to talk.
I really
And
appreciate
then I want
reaching out and
you
being able
outside
to do
with
this.
you to work a few things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it really means a lot, yeah, for you reaching out and doing this because, like I said, yeah, it's been tough. I mean, it's not easy, and hopefully this story can help somebody else, or put the information out there to where it's needed to get
Right.
people or companies or whatever's going on to get it forward movement. You know what I'm saying? At least something moving to help the people that actually have the disease and have this COVID-19. I do agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I just want to say before we end this, and I will resurface back with you next week and a week after, just so we can do follow-ups, and then we can go live on some other platforms just to go over more things with other people that want to know more. I just want to give you the platform and the floor right now to say anything that you'd like to tell the world before we end the interview. Anything you'd like to say in reference to yourself or anything. I'd like to give you that opportunity to.
Um, Basically, yeah. You guys can all follow me out on social media. My social media handle is Who Knew Eric. For all my platforms, it's Who Knew Eric, ERIC. Other than that, like I said, I just want everybody to stay safe. I mean, humbly from my heart. And like I said, I mean, to put out this information, I hope that, like I said, that what I say can maybe help somebody else out there that's going through this. And that's
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I think it froze a little bit and I thought you paused. But if you have anything else you could say, go ahead, go right ahead. I'm going to give you the floor just before we end everything. And then we'll resurface with some things next week.
okay. Yeah. So, anything that has to do like with the COVID-19, I mean, as far as like what's been going on like in this world and what I've been dealing with personally, I mean, I know there's other families and other people out there. Like I said, my heart goes out to them and all these people that are
Right.
dying. I did, and I think that that's the main focus right now. Is to get life back to where it needs to be. To bring I guess the circulation back. I mean, because what comes around goes around, right? So yeah, we just need to get back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'd like to see as many people get back to life and back out doing the things that people love. You know, the world to get back,
Right.
and myself, of course.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much, little Eric, for discussing that with us and to go over, your feelings of what you've been through throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. And I want to resurface back with you next week on some other things and then some questions that people will come up with after seeing this. There's going to be a lot of questions. So I'm going to resurface with you, and I just want to thank you for everything, for going over these, the symptoms you went through and how you were contracted with the virus and things like that. That means a lot to the world.
Thank you.
And just want to thank you so much. And let's keep in touch. I'll see what I can do on my end. I want this thing to go viral. I want people to know what's going on from a real victim instead of people just guessing and not really knowing how serious this is. And then there's some conspiracy theorists talking about the 5G thing. I want people to know that this is really contagious. You have to really, go with the true facts of what's really going on here, because this is contagious. This is something that is really going on. This is real. It's not a joke. Celebrities are not getting paid to do or say that they're sick. This is real. So, I just want people to know that. And thank you so much, little Eric. I hope you get well, and I will be discussing and talking to you off of this interview, okay?
Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, absolutely. It's very
So
nice.
much.
Pleasure
Yeah,
talking
it's a
to you.
pleasure.
You have a great day.
And I enjoyed the interview and everything, so I'm happy we did get a chance to go over things. So,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Right back at you. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm going to call you after this interview just to go over some more stuff, okay?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.